say medical school changes you, and let me assure you, they are not wrong. Sure, I learned a ton of medicine, but more importantly, I learned a lot about myself and how I want to live both inside and outside of the hospital. So in this video, we're going to be talking about 5 things I would never do thanks to my experience as a medical student. If you're new here, my name is J.R. Smith, and I am a 4th year graduating medical student who, by the way, just matched into orthopedic surgery. The first thing I would not do is ignore the importance of sleep. Now, my wife has already publicly exposed me for having a few poor sleep habits early on in my medical school career.
Because you didn't sleep. You slept maybe 2 hours. And it was at 4 to 6 a.m.
Now, doing this was honestly dumb. I was crabby, I couldn't perform the way that I wanted to the next day, and I didn't even retain anything that I was learning. And I've talked time and time on this channel that poor sleep can destroy any learning progress that you're trying to make. The evidence tells us that sleep is crucial for memory consolidation. When we sleep, our brain strengthens the information that we learn throughout the day. Poor sleep has also been associated with worse focus and decreased ability to regulate emotions. Not exactly a recipe for performing as a student or even a human at that point. A few ways that I've learned to optimize my sleep even when I'm extremely busy is to schedule it. Treating sleep like any other important appointment makes that you actually get as much as you intend to, even if you have to schedule less than the recommended 7 to 8 hours. Use your calendar to hold you accountable with your sleep schedule. Another thing that you can do to improve the quality of your sleep is to create a relaxing bedtime routine and sleep environment. Wind down before bed with calming activities like reading a book, and avoid screens for at least an hour before bedtime. And when you finally make it to bed, make sure your bedroom is dark, cool, and quiet. This will improve the quality of your sleep, helping you to feel rested even if your busy schedule limits how much sleep you can actually get. I've learned that high quality sleep is associated with productivity, and when I'm balancing being a husband, father, doctor, and a business, I've learned that being productive is one of the most important things that I can do. The next thing I would not do after going through medical school is ignoring my physical health. In medical school, we are constantly exposed to people who are sick for a variety of reasons. A lot of these cannot be avoided, unfortunately, but some of them can be. For example, a patient who is undergoing a small procedure may increase their risk of things like infections or other complications if they have a smoking history or a history of diabetes or if they're obese. And again, some of these things are less controllable for some people, but I have really come to appreciate how important optimizing our physical health can be. Not only will physical health make us feel better when we're doing whatever it is that we're doing, but it protects us from possible problems that can be life-changing. Medical school has taught me that physical health is essentially the best insurance policy that we can get for ourselves. So eating well, exercising, avoiding tobacco and other harmful products are one of the best ways that we can love our future selves. And this will lower the chances of experiencing a potential health tragedy that can derail any personal or professional ambitions that we have. The next thing I can't do after going to medical school is multitasking on important work. Juggling multiple things at once used to seem efficient to me, but I have now recognized it to be a trap. Our brains weren't wired to effectively complete one task while switching gears to another one. Focusing on a single task at a time is key. Now I schedule dedicated work periods where I only focus on one task at a time and avoid all distractions like social media or emails. My productivity has skyrocketed after approaching my work like this, and there's this fantastic book called The One Thing by Gary Keller, where he suggests that focusing daily on the one thing that's most important for achieving your goal, rather than scattering yourselves in many directions, is the key to extraordinary success. This is not easy in the distracted society that we live in, but breaking free of these distractions and doing focused work is really how you get things done. Another thing I refuse to do after going through medical school is being resistant to change. Not only does medicine change at an incredible pace thanks to more understanding about diseases and more incorporation of technology within healthcare, but as a student, I found that embracing change and being flexible with the styles of learning that are supported by the scientific literature were key to my success in medical school. So many people come into medical school stuck in their ways of learning and not being open-minded to exploring new techniques and tools that come out. Ultimately, I found the most success when I use evidence-based strategies, and oftentimes these strategies use new technologies or unfamiliar methods. In college, I learned primarily through reviewing PowerPoints and skimming through textbooks, but in medical school, I learned almost exclusively through flashcard tools like Anki that utilize spaced repetition and active recall. These are just fancy terms for actively attempting to retrieve information from your memory and then doing so over spaced intervals so that you don't forget. I never even heard of Anki or these study strategies, but if I tried to force my old study habits into my experience as a medical student, I don't think I would have made it. Adapting to new resources and ways of doing things that are designed to make you more efficient are really key to success in whatever you're doing. Which brings me nicely to the sponsor of today's video, Listening.com. This app is designed to transform that stack of research papers on your desk into audio files on your phone. As a medical student and aspiring orthopedic surgeon, being able to listen to various research papers while walking, working out, or making dinner has been a game changer. And they automatically break down the paper so you can listen to it in its entirety or just the sections you're most interested in. And it even knows to skip over citations and has the impressive ability to pronounce those difficult technical words that honestly I'm still learning. And one of my favorite features is the one-click note-taking function. When I come across something I want to remember or come back to, I simply click the plus note button in the app and it saves it for me. Not only does this make it easier to remember what I read, but it also streamlines the process of me creating my own research. Try the app for free and join thousands of students from places like Stanford, Harvard, and MIT who are currently using thelistening.com. And if you use the link in the description below, you'll get a 3-week free trial instead of the standard 2. So if you want to join me in mastering the scientific literature, let's start listening together today. And finally, the last thing that I will never do after going through medical school is devaluing the art of learning. Medical school isn't just about memorizing facts for exams or doing your best to become a subservient member of a healthcare team. It's really about developing a lifelong love for learning. The best doctors are those who stay curious, keep up with all those advancements we talked about, and never stop learning. As a doctor, my patients deserve to have someone who is constantly trying to improve and provide the highest value of care to them. If I thought now I can just turn my brain off and stop learning since I'm done with medical school, I would become a worse physician, husband, father, and even content creator because I would no longer be growing. I think growing and learning can be used interchangeably in most contexts, and we should really want to grow in the things that we care about. I care about my family, my career, and honestly providing value to you guys. And medical school has emphasized how important it is that I don't take my foot off the gas. Nor do I want to. Medical school has taught me that growth is one of the most fulfilling experiences in this life, and I am fully committed to it. But that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you did enjoy the video, you may enjoy this one where I talk about how I was able to study over 10 hours per day, most days in medical school without burning out. But as always, and as we just discussed, keep evolving, and I'll see you guys in the next one.